Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Quick layout and project update. I think you're going to like this one. I'm going to try to keep it short, but we know how that goes. Working on this blue V&O box car that Dwight gave me. I stripped the old decals off and working on the new decals now. I'm stripping this caboose to become an Allegheny Midland Road caboose. Midland Road decals are in, so if you are a fan or are not a fan, if you're not a fan of K4 decals, you need to be. So give them some love, show them some love on Facebook, because I think his name was Matt. He knocked these out quick. I mean quick, like within a month. So these are caboose and transition era cars, and I'm working on those now. All right, so let's go pan over here. And something I've been putting off for a while is this sunblock slash backdrop above this window on the east side of my house. This window creates some issues in the summertime because it warms up in here real quick because of this. So this will be painted blue to match the wall, and some buildings will be essentially glued to it to form a larger town of Cartridge. This little window down here, I put a curtain on there, and that'll make a huge difference. These windows are the next two and the last two to be done, and hopefully I get those done here this week sometime. All right, now you're probably wondering why I'm showing you this. This is just a snapshot of all the tools that I use multiple times a day, multiple times a week, building my layout. I'm not saying go buy Ryobi, but what I'm saying is you might want some of these tools. I have multiple drills. I have multiple circular saws, saber saw. That's a kettlebell back here. I use that to hold stuff down with. I have a brad nailer. I have a staple gun. I have a router. I have a glue gun or a caulk gun. Hundreds of drill bits, crowbars, hammers, of course, extra batteries. Drywall screws, they're universal. Use them for everything. And some good needle nose pliers. And that piece of wood there, that's my curve radius making tool. I'll show you how to use that in the next video. And I justified buying this kukri because I needed to cut foam. At least that's what I told my wife, but I just wanted it because it's freaking cool. Here is the big reveal for tonight. 27 feet of bench work, almost complete. So 8-foot section, 8-foot section, and then the section next to the gate. Also built the, what did I call them before? The window blockers, or whatever you want to call them, the scenery blockers, or whatever you want to call them, I don't know. The coverings of the windows that will be painted blue to blend into the sky behind. Now, the cool thing about this whole section of track, or this whole section of bench work I made, is this little 4-inch section behind with the 3% downgrade that will go to the porch section, which will be on the far wall with all my Star Wars Lego helmets and stuff like that. All that stuff will get gone, and it's going to look pretty cool. It'll come up that 3% grade, and I have this 36-inch radius curve just kind of sitting here because I wanted to make sure that was going to work. I had to change my plan with this, and my biggest concern was the grade coming up and matching the foam. You can see just a little bit of white right there in the middle of the screen. I'll have to round off that part of the white foam to give me a little transition, so to smooth it out a lot better. And then this part will come around and connect into what will be the Pennsylvania main line, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm not finished with my supports down here. I just got one leg holding everything up, and I've got a few more things to do before I can glue the foam and the plywood down, because I always glue the plywood, nail the plywood, and then glue the foam and then weight it down on top. But these 1x3 angle supports that I made worked out a lot better than I thought. The only problem is my wall's not square, therefore each one is a different length, and when I went and cut them all the same length, they didn't work out too well. So I got 2 more to build over here. And then this little section over here is about, 3.5 feet. And I'll go ahead and do that to the wall. And then I'll start building down this way. Now, if you watched my last video, I said I wasn't going to work on any bench work for a while. I was concentrating on models. But I've been waiting on parts and decals to come in, so I got started on this, and I can knock out some bench work pretty quick. I basically got prefab most of the stuff underneath. This is one of the more complicated jobs I did. This is I call this the waffle, and these are like every 16-inch square or something like that, and it's pretty time consuming building that compared to this one here, which basically just looks like a ladder. So this part here is 30 inches wide. So those center supports are 28.5 inches. And then all I do is I knock them out on the chop saw and make a whole bunch of them. And then I buy the 8-foot 1x3s. All I do is verify that they're 8 foot, because sometimes they're not. Sometimes they might be 8 feet and 1/8, or they might be 7 feet 7/8. And that little 1/8 of an inch difference screws up everything. And trust me, and don't ask me how I know, just trust me. So, nothing else has changed anywhere except, let me run over here. And if you're new to my videos, I do this a lot. I don't script anything, I just get out here and start working. So I'm working on this little spot right here. That should have a gravel parking lot soon. The oil tank foundation right there should get weathered up, and I got the oil tanks on the workbench right now for some rust and some dirt and grime. And then I'll put the buildings back on. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I'll plant some more trees there between the tracks, and we'll move on from there. There's a section right here in the corner where the river comes around the bend, and I cut that tonight. It's just a little piece of plywood. I'll paint that white soon, and I was saying in the near future, but one day when I'm bored and not doing anything, I don't want to do anything, I'll mix up my paint and I'll start painting the riverbed. And I have everything white will be the river. So I'm gonna paint it a pea soup looking color, and it will come around, and it's a significant amount of epoxy that's gonna go in here. And I'm really happy that I did this, because I always liked the way the railroad ran next to the river. And you know, I used to work on a railroad, and I used to really, I don't know, calm me. I used to think it was really cool, but we was a little bit higher. But this scene is all going to come together here in the next few months. I'll start working on this, try to get that bench work finished on the other side. And then I'm going to be saving up for some track and some road bed. So nothing else, I'll buy a road bed, and then get that all laid down, get the tracks planned out according to my drawing. And then good things are going to happen in the future. I might even start working on that bridge. I found a 3D set of abutments, and I just say abutment, like I guess a bridge approach, concrete approach, that like I made this a long time ago, and I liked it at the time, but now I don't. But I found some that are 3D printed. That's exactly what I want. Concrete arches with concrete arches inset, and I need to take this bridge and take a picture of how it mounts on these abutments and send it to the guy and see if he can modify his 3D print so that this bridge will sit right in there. And that's going to cost me a big chunk of change. That's like 240 bucks. Plus he's going to have to do some work, so probably be closer to 275, plus shipping and handling, probably $300. And then I'll have to paint it and work on it and all that stuff, but it should be wide enough for double track, and it's going to look incredible. It's going to look incredible. I'm glad I just sat on this instead of trying to do anything else with it. But for all of those, oh my goodness. I had a migraine today. I'm a little flustered. For those of you who have not watched my previous videos on this bridge, this is an MTH Rail King single track O-gauge bridge that I converted to HO scale double track. All those cross members and supports inside are all custom cut and installed. I think I worked on this bridge for a good couple of months, and I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you're happy with it. But in the long run, it don't matter, because I'm happy with it. Need some weathering and some work, but I'll work on that some other time. And tell me what you think. You like it? You hate it? Let me know. And I'll finish up over here. I know you guys are all sick and tired of my Alcos. So there you got a Fantasy U30B painted in Virginian yellow and black, and a couple of nickel plate SD9s. If you like this video, hit that like button or hit that thumbs up, hit that notification, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, come back here in a few days and see what I do next. Thank you all for watching. I almost forgot. I caught this Winston-Salem southbound train coming northbound through Lexington today. So stick around for another couple minutes and check that out. It's pretty cool. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. It's around 2:45 in the afternoon, of course, since it's daylight out. And this is the first Winston-Salem southbound train that I have caught going through Lexington in a couple of months. It's headed northbound. I'm right here across the street from McDonald's and the interstate. I saw this parallel on Highway 8 down by Southmont. Group 6, an NS Group 6 on the head end. I think a SpongeBob SD40-3. And probably not a very long train. But here we go. Not a very long one today. The end, literally.